Good evening, you're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. It's now time for a special show which will come to you straight from Bengaluru in Karnataka. For that, I want to go straight across to my colleague Jay Prakash, who is joining us live. Jay Prakash, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. This is a special broadcast of NewsX. This is about National Military Memorial, a subject which is very close to our heart because this place is all about our martyrs. A brief history of this place because we have been relentlessly campaigning for opening of this place. Foundation laid in 2009 to be completed in 4 years. Defense establishments have given all the installations. You can see the rockets, the tankers, the models of spaceships, everything here. But this has not been thrown open to the public because a monolith, a Veeragallu, which is called in the local lingua franca here, is still under completion. 6 years, that is the time taken for this completion, and this place is calling for inauguration. Well, on this subject, we are going to debate on why this disrespect towards our martyrs from the current dispensation in Karnataka. And with me, our distinguished panelists, I want to introduce them one by one here. We have G.V. Krishnan of the BJP, and we have Priya Chetty Rajgopal, entrepreneur, activist. We have G.J. Singh, commander. And on the right-hand side, we have Wing Commander Atri. Next to him is Anita Kohli, racer and activist. And finally, Nasir Hussain, a senior party functionary and Congress spokesperson. He has got a lot to answer today. And we have our audience too, who are going to toss up questions. Now, I'll straight away go to G.J. Singh, because he has been part of this campaign and he has also raised many concerns on this subject. Mr. Singh, 8 years on, and this is a pathetic display of disrespect towards our martyrs.
You see, I have heard of many arguments. People tell me sometimes that they have a memorial which is the India Gate in Delhi. They talk about another memorial here which is on the on the Residence Road. But what I want to bring out here is that in post-independent India, we have not built a single memorial commiserating the sacrifice laid down by our martyrs, by our soldiers, from 47 war, in 65, in 71, Kargil war, and so on, as we find every day our Jawans are being martyred on the LOC. I think this is the only one place in the whole country where somebody has come out with a very creative idea of making a memorial of what you call of its own kind in post-independent India. So I believe that this place is now probably should be designated as the only memorial, national military memorial, as the name suggests. It should be given all due importance. I think the time has come now for a politician to rise above the vote bank politics and to give the money, whatever is lacking. I believe it is the tune of 8 to 9 crores for the completion of this this particular memorial, because this memorial probably will be the first memorial in post-independent India for honoring our Jawans. Otherwise, our honor, the sense of honoring our martyrs is misplaced, because they always refer them to the First World War or Second World War British era memorials, which I don't somehow seem to buy. This idea of having, celebrating your Kargil Divas or Vijay Divas, or for that matter, your what is called the there's another day. All these days which we have delineated in time, which are marked on the calendar as at the days for remembering our martyrs, they should be celebrated in a place like this and not on the British era memorials.
Well, emotionally charged, G.J. Singh, it's coming from pain because this place is all about the martyrs. And it's time the politician raise above the vote bank politics and deliver what is required. Well, I'm going to come to you, Nasir, on this. because the Congress is in the dock here. You've been put on mat blatantly because the kind of disrespect shown, and this place is crying to be inaugurated.
I think let me start by telling that Army and the armed forces, they belong to no political party. They belong to no government. They belong to the people of this country. These services, they are done to this country in protecting this country, and the kind of missions they have taken up both within the country, across the borders, and outside the country, especially on UN missions and all, and has to be commemorated. There are many people, many Jawans who have laid down their lives. So they have to be commemorated. This issue, this memorial, is not for the living armed people. This is for the people who have laid down their lives for the country. So let us not have it a debate as to this government or that government, this party or that party. Let me at least not get into this, because Indian National Congress, at least since I am the national spokesperson of this party, I'd like to put on record that our party has given the utmost respect, utmost importance to the issues of the martyrs, to the issues of the armed forces. We have tried to respect in whatever way it is possible whenever the occasion arises, whether we have been in power, whether we have not been in power.
Well, it's hard to buy your argument because, Nasir, we have done this expose and the BJP initiated this project in 2009. All the civil works have completed, and for the last 4 years you've been sitting on it. Tender after tender has been given for this monolith. That is the only part which is incomplete, and the BDA's ineptness is, for there to everybody to see. Your government has been sitting on this project for the last 5 years. When you have projects like a steel flyover or a tunnel, there's so much of political pressure and political will to do it. But when it comes to this, why is this such kind of a lackadaisical attitude?
See, let us not pitch this project versus that project. Money used for this project versus money you're using for that scheme. Money being spent on this project, not being spent on this project, or spent on this project, or money that is being used for some flyover or some infrastructure project. Let us not pitch that. Let us not create binaries in this nation, because what has been happening for the past 3-4 years, especially on the media, is we try to create binaries. Say why not this? Why that thing? Why not this thing? Why that thing? These kind of arguments, I think, are illogical. They doesn't serve any purpose. So this memorial was started in 2009 through some people, and then the government took it up, initiated, they formed a trust, money was sanctioned, place location was identified, and then the construction was started. But now I think there is one structure which has yet to be completed. I think if you can take that sculptor on phone, I think that will be good.
Nasir, we've got him. We have done an interview with him. We went to Devanalli. We did a story there. We did an expose, and he has exposed a government saying it's a BDA which has been sitting on it because funds was not released.
Jayaprakash, see, you have done this story. I know that. So you should allow me to speak. Allow me to complete. See, there is this monolithic structure which is about 70 feet and about 450 ton in weight, which is yet to be completed by the sculptor. Rest other things are there. The government is also waiting. When this story came up in the news, the government has already pulled up the BDA and asked it to complete as soon as possible. But the point is, the sculptor has to give the that monolithic structure, after which that will be placed here, and then I think the inaugural function will be.
Sir, this is not only about inauguration, it's also about maintenance, because in our expose we've shown how pathetically this place has been maintained, because we've seen the glass entrance to this motivational hall which is broken. Any vagabond can get inside and vandalize this place. Now I'm going to go to Atri, because you've been an activist apart from being a former army guy and Air Force, and you've seen the thick and thin of the developments happening, because you've been activists, you've been pulling out a lot of documents to expose the administrations in various fora. Now, what do you have to say about this particular campaign that NewsX has been running?
First of all, my hearty congratulations that someone other than the military is taking up such a campaign. Thank you very much from all my ex-colleagues and ex-servicemen part of it. Secondly, I want to make a very important point. A national war memorial should not be at the behest and request of ex-servicemen or those who want this memorial to be. In my view, any country which is grateful for the sacrifices of the people on its own should have had this memorial. I don't want to bring in any politics. 4 years BJP was in power, now 4 years Congress is there. The share is equally between both the parties. And let's also not forget, let's give some credit to our political leaders of Esther era, where a gateway of India Gate was made and Amar Jawan Jyoti was also made. Today what I think is a complete apathetic attitude from entire political syndromes and political affiliations of all dispensation and the bureaucracy which is today under question, like BDA is headed by a bureaucrat and so is the Home Department. So are many other functionaries headed by bureaucrats. They are showing such a scant respect. There is no feeling with them that this a war memorial, if you want the pun on that, should be built on a war footing. But here it's going on a snail pace. Look around all of you. This doesn't require much money. It requires a good gardener to clip those things and to make it look presentable to the people. A war memorial is, in my opinion, the civilian population of a country to show their respect to those who have departed us and pay homage to them whenever we desire that someone has left us. And secondly, it must serve as a motivational and inspirational place for the future generations to come and join, put on the uniform and fight for the constitution and sovereignty of the country. However, I think the yesteryear politician and today's politician, a yesteryear bureaucrat and today's bureaucrat, the difference is seen everywhere. The value system towards the military is slowly on the wane. They do not have that kind of an impetus to be given to such a beautiful structure in the center of Bangalore. This should be a temple for people when they want to remember their departed soldier. But today, it looks like as if any other park in Bangalore. I think this is not correct. And I cannot only blame the political clout in this. Bureaucracy has to take this actually double share than the politicians. Maybe politician is interested only in politics. But who is doing the governance, my friend? Where is that question of governing things? This is a total apathetic, lackadaisical approach towards governing this entire trust, whatever is that. I don't want to bring in any personalities. There were little hidden agendas. That's why I walked away in 2009 when I came into this place. Let us not discuss about that, because this should not be at the cost and request of ex-servicemen alone. This should be done voluntarily by those people in the power that way. If Mr. Siddaramaiah is listening to me, I am very thankful to him because he helped me out in rejuvenating almost forgotten war memorial on Field Marshal Kariyappa and Brigade Road Junction. And thanks to the Congress government, today it at least looks like a place where young children and youngsters go and take photographs. And you know what they are saying today? We'll not meet in Brigade Road. Yeah, come, let's meet in that war memorial. That's the kind of feeling I want people in Karnataka to get for this area. And I'm sure Mr. Siddaramaiah, if he's listening to me, that BDA Commissioner, Mr. Rakesh Singh, if he's listening to me, I think 1 week should be sufficient to put this on war footing. There are emergency powers with every bureaucrat.
Well, we did question the BDA Commissioner, and he said he's going to take stock of the situation. But this was started in 2009 by the BJP. It went on a war footing, needless to say, because in the less than 3 years' time, most of the installations came up here. But the BJP too is to be partially blamed because for the 4 years that they were in government, this didn't come through. Mr. Krishnan, this didn't happen in 4 years' time when the BJP was in power. In 2009, it was started.
The question is not BJP or Congress or anything. The initiative was taken and we tried to do it, and all the issues regarding putting up these structures, it went on a good footing, and Rajiv Chandrasekhar was also instrumental in doing this. But unfortunately, since 2011, just a tender to move that that stone from say 100 or 80 kilometers from here, it is taking almost 4 or 5 years. I don't want to blame anybody, but the thing is, as Atri was saying, that the bureaucracy is totally responsible for this. How many meetings they have held? Please let me know. Nobody is worried about this. That is the problem. And the tender was given in 2011, and it took more than 3 times they have changed the tender, and again somebody takes a tender and he subcontracts to somebody. And I was just seeing your program there, though he was saying that it will take another 6 months to complete it. As he said, if they take it into their mind, to doing this is not very tough, and it's a beautiful place. And respect to all our soldiers, we have to restore immediately. I feel Siddaramaiah should listen to this and immediately put up a committee or a team to complete this in a very short time.
This has always been the trap, you know, the passing the buck game starts, whenever there is a debate. But I'm going to come back to you. But I'm going to Priya Chetty here because she spearheaded the steel bridge flyover project, the scams around it. She flagged it down, and she saw to it that, she gathered the momentum, and finally the project was called off. Priya, you've been in this area for a long time. You have seen this place as a park. You take a morning stroll here, and you've seen the developments around it. Doesn't it pain you?
I've been part of the steel flyover with 50,000 other people, so I don't think I've just been one part of it. I think, JP, this is really painful on multiple grounds. You don't argue, you don't debate with the unknown soldier. You don't, okay? I've spent many, many years when the unknown soldier statue came up here, right? Going past and standing underneath that with just a moment to breathe and to be able to respect and to pay my respects. So you don't, these are non-negotiable. What you see in front of you are 52,000 names etched on granite. Those 52,000 names are many names that I know and perhaps our parents know, right? There is no negotiation. It has been 8 years. I'm surprised because time has passed so fast I didn't realize. I know when it was first being built, I think there was great progress, it was going well. It is now a question of just one thing, which is will. Get somebody, all of us, I'm a corporate person, get somebody like me to go there and get things fixed, I'll fix it. Tell me what's wrong, I'll fix it. What is holding back? It's a very large stone, I understand. But right now, the primary issue is that this is no man's land. And for a military memorial to be in no man's land is what is really shocking. You have one large monolithic stone which has to come here, after which it will go. This is under nobody's direct supervision. So the person who maintains the park or the person who has control over this, the chairman of the National Military Memorial, is the chief minister. I'm saying put it out there. Do we care? A person goes to war. I am a Fauji brat myself. My father's in the army. People go to war for you and for me. And they go for the flag. They go for glory. They go because you have to drum it up. You have bands. You have people who exhort you. Because it's bigger than yourself. This flag that you see here is bigger than us. This is the largest, tallest flag in Bangalore. We have to maintain the dignity and the respect and the awe that this owns. If we don't, we are doing this, the military and what it stands for, a huge disservice. I don't want to get rightist about it and get rah-rah about, there's a 0-1. On this issue, I am. You must, within a short period of time, have this fixed. I'm only sorry that I have not realized it has taken 8 years. I'm a great enjoyer of this park. I've come here, I walk around. I have my moments over here with the soldier, with these stones, with the fact that there's something trapped here, which is many, many lives and many, many sacrifices. It is not negotiable. Let's make it happen. Get people like me, if you want me, to come and get involved, tell me how it needs to be done. Let's do it. Let's do it for our soldiers.
Yeah, that was a Bangalorean who was speaking because we have always lived in the city for decades, and we know how it feels when someone points finger at a city like Bengaluru, which has been proactive on so many occasions. As a Bangalorean, it does hurt when people start pointing fingers at you, isn't it, Anita?
Yes. First of all, look at this place. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful, and it's such a shame that as Indians, we come out with a lot of values, emotions and sentiments, and how can something like this take a back seat? Because my respect for the military forces, army and the Jawans is immense, and I think so is everyone's. What are we doing? These guys sacrifice their lives, and the families are shattered. They do so much for us to for our well-being and for our, for our day-to-day happiness. And what are we doing in return? It's just so little. And this is just, the place that we are sitting is just a small way, so little that we want to show respect to them and their families. Why are we treating this like what's gone is gone? Let's celebrate. I think these guys are the most celebrated people according to me, and I think the privileges offered should be really, really, it has to be more, in terms of anything for that matter. They are privileged, and they deserve all the honors possible. So
Absolutely, they deserve the honor. This is supposed to be a place to show a token of respect towards our martyrs who laid down their lives for this country. In fact, even while the BJP and the Congress slug it out, we have the JDS. We have JDS spokesperson here, and I'm going to put my mic to him to ask him. The JDS has always been a non-urban party. Is this why you are mum on this issue? Where are you taking this?
We are certainly, you can call it as we are a non-urban party, but we are not non-national party. We are with the soldiers, we are with the country, we are with the people who have laid down their lives for this country. Actually, जैसे एक शेर है कि हर बरस लगेंगे मेले यहाँ, यही हमारा आखिरी अर्ज़ो बयां होगा. If at all we don't respect our soldiers who have sacrificed their life, I think I'm not really going to think any government would be against soldiers. But this government is certainly little lethargic. What we would say right now to Siddaramaiah government is just wake up. Before you make people feel that Karnataka is insensitive towards the martyrs who have laid down their life, they have to wake up and do something really which is needed for this part.
Tanvi, you have the fora because you're in alliance with Congress in governing the city, because in the BBMP you have assembly, but not a single question raised on this particular war memorial, which has actually gone to dogs.
I'm really not too sure whether we have raised any question. If at all we have not done, we have really done a crime. We have really not done a crime. I'm really not going to mince words, but certainly this information is going to go to the people who are responsible in my party, and we would ensure that they would raise questions to an extent that it would be heard by the government, which probably is deaf today.
Well, that was Tanvir Ahmed from the JDS, quite vocal about it, saying that he admits the fact that, if we have not raised it, it's a crime, and we're definitely going to raise that issue. But we are now joined by the sculptor. Everybody's fingers are being pointed towards this man because he is the man who has delayed the project as alleged by the current dispensation, the BDA and the party itself. So, Ashok Gudigar, he's a sculptor who has been working on this for 5 years. Ashok, all the fingers are being pointed towards you. You are the main reason. You are the culprit. That's the reason why this park has not been inaugurated.
No, it is a 6 साल से वो पहले ही वो ऑर्डर दिया था. मैं इसको मॉन्यूमेंट बनाने के लिए स्टोन वगैरह ओनली 94 लाख रुपए चार्ज किया था. वो काम स्टार्ट किया, वो पत्थर निकालने के टाइम में थोड़ा मुश्किल हो गया. रॉक दिखाया, उसमें नीचे से थोड़ा क्रैक था, 2 बार करना पड़ेगा था. वो मेरा काम शेप करके बनाया. बाद में वो टिल्ट करना, ट्रांसपोर्ट करना, एरेक्ट करना वो दूसरा कंपनी को दिया था. वो टेंडर डाला के टाइम में 5.5 करोड़ तक अंदर.
किसके अंदर आता है? कौन टेंडर देने वाला था? किसने डीला किया?
वो बीडीए ने टेंडर किया. वो 5.5 करोड़ 6 करोड़ तक वो टेंडर डाला. ज्यादा हुआ करके मीडिया लोग उसका कंट्रोवर्सी हुआ, इंक्वायरी किया. इसलिए 2 साल तक वो टेंडर करता ही रहेगा. 2 साल बाद में वो बीडीए ने छोड़ दिया, गवर्नमेंट को छोड़ दिया. कैबिनेट डिसीजन लिया, 5.5 करोड़ को अप्रूवल करके ऑर्डर दिया. वो शिफ्ट करना, ट्विल्ट करना अभी तक हुआ नहीं.
2 साल डिले और 50 लाख की नेगोशिएशन में
2 साल डिले किया.
Just for 50 lakhs, the tender was held for 2 years. For 2 years, Nasir. That is because, let me give you the background. He's a sculptor behind the monolith, the Veeragallu, and for him to do it, it's a 6.5 lakh kg monolith. So you need a mechanism to tilt it, twist it, and erect it. So for that, you government called for a tender for 6 crores, and for 50 lakhs, this has been on and off, and finally the BDA did give the tender 4 years ago, and only last year this monolith project has seen some kind of momentum.
See, the sculptor himself was telling the kind of news that was there around the tender that was given to the to the company to transport it. So that created lots of news, for which I think they had to re-tender it or to renegotiate it. And moreover, there is still 10 to 20% of the work left. That's what he was telling me. It's something which has to be done by hand. 22,000 names has to be written. It has taken pretty long time for him because it's a 70 feet and about 450 ton huge thing, which he was finding it very difficult to get all these names, inscribed on that. So that is the reason why it has taken lots of time. Now I think the negotiation is on for that this thing, and I think once his work is completed, they will try to get it from there and bring that monolith structure here and place it at the designated place.
Well, that is the monolith, but what about maintenance? Atri, this place has not been maintained at all. You can see there's grass grown all over. You can see the shrubs there, and the motivational hall is in tatters. Anyone can get inside. There are war artifacts inside here. Anyone can take it away. You feel pained by this. Absolutely, it reflects what my entire state is being governed by this so-called bureaucracy so far. Coming back to that point, what I was trying to make. See, I cannot, by any amount of motivation, make that bureaucrat come and work and see that this park is maintained. Whose park is this? This is for the people of the state. If this is the attitude he has got to maintain a park for the people of his own state, what kind of a governance, somberness he is on today? He must be in total slumber. Let me tell you, when we go to the war, defend the country, we don't ask questions, rules, regulations, tender, this and that and all that. So today here is a memorial. I think I'm very, very sure the Chief Minister of the state is not even put in the picture correctly. He must be given all kinds of, wrong kind of feedback to him. Sir, it is being done, we will take care and all that. I think if Mr. Siddaramaiah is really keen, I think he is, that he will definitely put, there are a lot of emergency powers with the Chief Minister. He can overrule all this and say, as far as war memorial is concerned, I will do it. Let it be the highest authority called CAG will also not question that. Please wake up now from your slumber. Start maintaining from tomorrow. I am sure you can hire horticulture department to do this job, who are right across in Kappan Park. Anyway, it's another matter. Even that park is not to that pristine glory what it was. Kindly, if all those officers who are responsible for maintenance and upkeep of this, please do that. There is no tender required for that. There is not lakhs of involved. It is your will involved. It is your respect to your soldiers involved. Not only soldiers, it is respect to your own country is involved. Foreign tourists come here. They say, this is a war memorial. Great, yeah. Wonderful. What kind of a maintenance you have? Is this the picture we want to present? That is what my question is. Come on, let's wake up. Atri, that was Atri. He was emotionally charged and seeing that, how he feels about this place. But whenever it comes to the government, there's always bureaucratic red tapeism. There's always procedures that one needs to follow. That is why this delay of 2 years. Now, there is a culture in the corporate world wherein, there is an SOP, you have a target, it's a time bound, how you operate. And you have seen how the governments operate in the last 2 years of your public life that you've been involved in. What kind of difference do you see between these two worlds, and how do we, bring in this divergence together?
I think there are two things, one of which I'm not going to be very popular for saying. You need a sense of ownership, right? And you need to work backwards from a goal. But the third thing which you need is a thin skin. Unfortunately, what I have seen a lot in the last few months is a very thick skin. So today I can be slapped in public, I can be shamed in the media, but I will still say what I'm saying. I go back on my words. It's perfectly acceptable. For us, for me particularly, I find that abhorrent. I cannot even begin to understand how somebody can give a word and go back on it. So here's the thing. As far as getting something done is concerned, however simplistic it sounds, if you put a committee together, this is the death of the project. We don't need any more committees. We just need one person who will take this from a point of view of, I've got 1 week, I've got an open charter, and this is what I get to do. I don't have to interview the Chief Minister in the car to say what stone, which I don't know what's going on. It's embarrassing for everyone concerned. You need 10 days to be able to get this fixed if you have an open hand. That's it. Ownership and a goal orientation. I have ownership. A lot of people have ownership. Does this mean anything? All this activity just shows one thing. It doesn't mean anything. And this is really a PR disaster for 1.2 billion people for whom this stone, the unknown soldier, and the martyr means something. So it's really up to us.
You summed it up beautifully. That is what Priya says here. Sense of ownership. Don't want committees. Time-bound manner. That is the approach to go for it, and that's the way it should be done. Welcome back. This is a crucial debate that we're having in Bangalore. It's a special show on the National Military Memorial, and we have panelists, activists, politicians and of course the army veterans. Mr. Singh, you were raising a very important point that even as the army men are fighting the infiltrators in Kashmir, we are sitting here and debating whether or who to be blamed for this martyrs place that should have been inaugurated years ago.
You see, I want to take this debate on a very different level. As you rightly said, that our Jawans are taking bullets on the chests, defending this country, they are shedding their blood at this point in time. It is only because of the morale, it is only because of the emotional spine that they have, the sense of nationalism, the sense of patriotism for this country. And this always depends on the respect and the honor that we give to our veterans and the martyrs. If we don't respect our martyrs with these memorials, if we don't give honor and respect to the departed soul, those unknown soldiers, with such monuments, their emotional spine and moral being fiber gets, it gets broken. The second point that I want to make here, which is very, very important, is that such monuments and memorials are for the future generations, because it gives our posterity, the future generations, a sense of belongingness. Otherwise, they are like a leaf who does not know which tree he belongs to. You see, if these youngsters do not know, or in future, as to which, country or the security or the integrity of a country they belong to, they won't be joining these services. So I think it is from the vision point of view, from the future of this country, integrity, security of this country, it is very essential that such projects should be given topmost priority. And
well, absolutely, topmost priority, that should have, because this shouldn't be just an amusement park. You can see the rockets there, you can see, tankers here. What is the BJP doing on the other hand? They've been in opposition, principal opposition in Karnataka. They initiated the project. Shouldn't they have pushed for it, because it was started by them?
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, it was started by us, and we had a wonderful opportunity that Bengaluru would have been the first war memorial. Unfortunately, we missed it, because in Bhopal, the Prime Minister inaugurated the first war memorial last year, and we missed this opportunity. And I feel it's not a party or anything like that. It is a question of, as somebody said, it is a will to do it. And especially in case of memorials for soldiers and others, there should not be any politics involved in that, and they should have done it earlier. And I urge the Chief Minister to take up the issue immediately. And as G.J. Singh was saying, the future generation should know about the sacrifices made by our soldiers, and this is the best place to do that.
Well, Tanvir, I want to pick your brains on this, because the cat and mouse game is being played by the BJP and the Congress while you watch it. But what do you have to do? We have been carrying this relentless campaign. As an opposition, you're also part of the opposition. What needs to be done to get this going?
See, only one thing which really needs this project to be going is a will from the current government and a push from the principal and the opposition. And I promise you, as a minor opposition party in the Karnataka legislation, we would certainly give a push. We would certainly give a push even in BBMP. We would ensure, if at all the cleaning is not maintained properly, we would. I'm going to personally write a letter to the BBMP commissioner. I'm going to personally write a letter to the mayor and deputy mayor and ensure that the cleanliness is maintained here. And the honorable former chief minister of Karnataka, Kumaraswamy, I would ensure that he also speaks to the chief minister and get the work done as soon as possible, because as rightly said by the fellow participant from BJP, that this is not a place where you score brownie points on politics. This is not the place where you do politics. This is a place where everybody feels pride. 1.2 billion Indians really feel pride in this, and we all need to get united together to ensure this war memorial gets a shape which it really certainly deserves, to give it to the future generation of this country.
Well, maintenance. That is one of the key issues that we've been highlighting through our campaigns, because this is an 8-acre park, And this 8-acre park has got installations from DRDO, you have installations from the Army, the Air Force, and even the Navy also, because there is a unit there inside which is not open. That is also, catching rust. So that is the kind of maintenance that we are seeing here. Nasir, forget about inauguration. What holds you back from at least maintaining this park?
See, I think already many panelists have spoken about the maintenance. The maintenance, which is, see, one thing is that a trust has been created. The state government has still holding this place because it has to be inaugurated and given to that trust. So I think there's some coordination problem is there, because BBMP was also involved to some extent. BDA is there, which is looking after it. So I think some confusion is there. Now that it has been brought to the notice of the Chief Minister, and the Chief Minister himself has pulled up the officials in BDA, and I should, let me remind you, I think you yourself did a story, and some panelists were also, I think it was Mr. Atre was speaking about the war memorial on MG Road and Kariappa Road. The moment it was brought to the notice of the government, it was spruced up, and now it has become a very beautiful location where people meet, and people are going to see that and all. I think I would promise the viewers on your television channel that this government has already taken up. It will do its best. It will try to see that the monolith is back, and will maintain it, and we'll see that people's responsibilities are fixed, and then we'll see that it is given back. It is given to the trust, and the trust maintains it, and due respect is given to the martyrs of this country, to the martyrs who have laid down their lives to protect us all these years, and the people of the state, not only from our state, people from the entire country, they can come here and they can pay their respects in the days to come.
Well, that's a good takeaway. That's a very positive takeaway. But needless to say that it required a news channel for us to enlighten you on this. That is what is Well, I come back to you. On that, Wing Commander, he has promised that there will be action, and you have been quite active. Are you going to get involved now, because you walked out in 2009?
See, I am not going to get involved unless I'm invited, because in my country, I know if you volunteer for anything, that your value system goes down as far as that. I want to raise one more very important question. I'm sure, like the President of India is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. He takes the salute. Similarly, the Governor of a state who represents the President of India also takes the salute by the military on certain occasions like Republic Day and others. Governor, I'm sure, lives next door. Has he any time come over here? As the Governor of Karnataka, he could have definitely used this office power and made this garden for martyrs look much better. Is Mr. Vajubai Wala listening? Has he ever once even taken a walk on this war memorial? Does he have any concern for the martyrs? I don't think so. Unless, I'm telling you again repetitively, it is not for me and my colleagues to get up and say, you make a war memorial for me. It is for the political leadership. I remember of Chanakya telling Chandragupta long ago, your military should not rise in protest against you, asking for things, demanding things. You as the king, it is your responsibility to make sure your Fauj is looked after well. In that aspect, my country, irrespective of political affiliations, has failed to some extent. If I say this, I will not be wrong. I hope tomorrow the Governor of Karnataka will take a walk in this National War Memorial supposed to be, and he will hasten the process of inauguration by sorting out all the problems. He has the power to do it because he appoints so many of these ministers, including the Chief Minister. Therefore, being a constitutional head of the state government, Mr. Vajubai Wala should take a walk tomorrow morning and tell the people of Karnataka, yes, this war memorial, irrespective of any political affiliations, will be inaugurated before this Independence Day. Then only I will have a sigh of relief.
Well, the Wing Commander emotionally charged up as always, because he feels a lot for this country and for this place, especially because he was a part of this project. But what is the BJP doing? The state BJP seems to be in deep slumber. Again and again I want to come back to, because we are holding the Congress responsible. Equally, the opposition also is responsible, because you've not pushed it enough.
I don't agree with that, because as our JDS person was saying, that this government is sleeping, and it is sleeping in all respects. This is one of the effects of that. And on any issue for that matter, nobody is responsible in this party, this government, and they're not taking any interest. And the district in charge minister changes every second year. and they are only interested in steel bridges or tunnel ways and other things where they have larger allocations, and where I don't want to explain further things. So that is the way they do it, and I feel you need not blame the opposition for that. One thing I say that they could have raised this in assembly, they could have done it. I agree with you, and definitely we'll convey this message to our leaders, and we'll take care of that.
Priya, I'm going to come to you again because you've been opposing a lot of projects which have not been taken, which has not taken public into conference, because there has been no public consultation. Because we have already seen this one more issue which is cropped up now, the Cubbon Park issue being thrown. The Cubbon Park is being thrown up for VVIPs on Sunday. Time and again, when it comes to issues such as these, it is the enlightened citizens or activists who have to highlight it, and the government is least bothered. There is no will at all.
Yeah, I think I could not agree with you more. I think this has never been a more important time for the fifth pillar of democracy. Citizens like us are forced to do double shifts, and I would be happy if I could just go back to a life where I could read a book occasionally. I seem to be fighting on many different fronts, and what's really, for me, very, very painful is the automatically confrontational role that citizens and government seem to take. That shouldn't really be. So today, if I'm fighting for the Queen's Veterinary Hospital, which is a 3.5-acre property, which has completely lost its greenery, I don't see why I should be fighting for it. The government should be in a condition to want to keep that space. We are in a beautiful part of Bangalore. JP, just look around you. This is glorious, beautiful Bangalore. But what we're doing, which I think a civilian will not understand, what we are doing to the military right now is standing there in front of his uniform with a medal ready to pin to his chest. And we've been in that position for 8 years. Visualize that. That is easy to visualize. That's how embarrassing and painful it is for the military to watch a memorial once it started. We shouldn't have started it in the first place. But once we've started it, it is our moral obligation to finish it. And it's very difficult to explain to someone who's outside the services to know how much of systems and celebration you need to have a lot of rah-rah inside you to go out into war. So when this is so shoddily done, the military doesn't do things shoddily. The military does things with precision, with heart, with pomp, with grandeur, and they go out to war. So this is an insult. So I'm saying we shouldn't have started it. But if we have, please God, let's complete it.
Well, she summed it up again, Mr. Singh. 2 or 3 important points that you raised, because being an army veteran, you really feel insulted because this place, the way it has been maintained. From the armed forces side, as veterans, where are the platforms where you can raise these issues and you can get the government to act? Because when you say something, the government jolly well doesn't take it lightly.
I think the best platform is media today, because media is an in thing. I don't think there's any other platform except representing, writing to the government, or visiting the Chief Minister's office, or complaining. I think media is the ultimate in this country, because everybody take note of it. Now, as a veteran in Bangalore, I feel insulted because Bangalore is one of the most prominent and well-known cantonment of this country. In Peninsula India, it stands out, from the rest of the country. And we have all kinds of training centers here. We have the Air Force Training Command, we have the ASC Center, we have the Madras Engineering Group, we have, R&D, we have HAL, various kinds of laboratory. A large number of pensioners are settled here because it was known earlier as the pensioners' paradise. And it is in the heart of the city. As Priya has mentioned out, it is in such a beautiful place. Across the road is the governor's house, Raj Bhavan, and the chief minister's house is just a stone throws away. The secretariat, the bureaucrats are sitting here. They're out here is a building where bureaucrats live. So this place is directly under their nose.
Absolutely. Being a Bangalorean myself, living here for decades, I wouldn't discount whatever Mr. Singh said, because 80 to 90% of Bengaluru, the CBD area, is green because it's the cantonment area. The army quarters is here, training centers here. There's, it's a lung space for the entire Bangalore city. And time and again, the establishments have gone to the military, the defense authorities seeking land for projects. But when it comes to this, the lackadaisical attitude is what we're again discussing. And I'm not going to shy away from asking Nasir again, though he's given a commitment that he's going to raise it. But this deserved a much better treatment, isn't it, Nasir?
Yeah, absolutely, Jaiprakash. It deserves much better treatment. It deserves respect. It deserves all the attention that the government can give to this project. But I heard the BJP spokesperson saying the government is sleeping here, not only and they are interested in some other project. I think initially when we started with the discussion, I said let us not politicize the issue. I don't want the army to be politicized at all in our country. What we have been seeing for the past 2-3 years in this country is every debate the army is being brought in and is being politicized, which is not good for any democracy. We have seen certain nations which got...
Actually, when you talk about surgical strike, it was the Congress which politicized the entire issue.
See, all those nations which got independence, when we got independence, are in turmoil now because they tried to politicize the armed forces of their country. Our neighboring states, you must be guessing whom I am hinting at to. See, during surgical strike, who politicized? Who went to the town and put up posters of Mr. Narendra Modi in the avatar of Ram and in the avatar of Shiva? Was it the Congress party or the workers of the BJP? Now people are asking us and telling us that the Chief Minister is speaking. Shall I ask the question to the BJP spokesperson and the BJP party? More than 200 Jawans have been martyred in the last 3 years. More than 100 civilians have died. More than 15,000 civilians are injured and more than 4,000 security personnel are injured. Did the Prime Minister, who speaks so much about the army, has he gone even to any single house? Even in the case of Landsnack Hanmantappa, it was the Congress party and the Congress government in Karnataka which raised the issue, because of which a small job was given to his wife. And then around 50 lakhs has been spent by the state government for the compensation of Mr. Landsnack Hanmantaya's family, and a memorial of around 15 lakhs is coming up in Hubli. So my question is, just to politicize, just to bring up this issue of nationalism again and again, and to say that it is only the BJP which is concerned about the welfare of the army, I think it is absolutely absurd. And if you have seen, they wouldn't have taken such a long time to solve the issue of OROP, which actually has not been solved to the satisfaction of the armed forces. So let us not get into it. Let us not glorify too much. Let us not politicize too much. Let us do only good, which is good to the democracy. This memorial has to have the attention.
Mr. Nasir Hussain, we are looking at the macro level. We're looking at this. It's a stunning example of how the government has been dealing with.
See, I am looking at the larger picture. I am looking at the picture where the binaries have been created. I am looking at the picture where the army is being sought to be politicized. I am looking at the picture where you are trying to bring an important institution of a country into controversy. So that is what. So let us not politicize it. Let us get into the issue. This is a war memorial. It needs respect, and it has been brought to the notice of the government. I, as a national spokesperson of the Congress party, assure you on your television channel that this will be taken up. It will be taken up. Already the officials will be pulled up. Whatever money that is required will be put in, and this will be completed and inaugurated before we complete our tenure. Thank you so much.
Well, Hussain says that because we're going to follow it because he has given his word. But the issue of politicizing the army, Wing Commander, do you feel that the army is being politicized more than ever in the recent times?
Again, I want to be apolitical on this issue. While I see too much of noise around everywhere, too much of neo-nationalism happening is not good for the social fabric of the nation. We got to maintain our pragmatism. How much we have to expose army into this? See, democratically elected governments in my country have taken a decision to keep armed forces away from the political mainstream system so that it does not get corrupted, because their allegiances should not be to the certain local leaders. And so far we have been very, very successful in this. I am sure we are going to be more successful in future. But what's happening today is this neo-nationalism. For everything, thumping the chest and say, I have done this, my army has done this. This must stop. It's a role of the army. Army has to be supported. Army has to be protected by unnecessary vitiated atmosphere of the society, and we must make sure that army's morale is always kept up. Secondly, we must enhance the fighting power of my armed forces today. That's more important than bringing them in everyday discussion. I did this, you did this, my chest is so and so on. That's not good. I'm very, very happy. Thanks to NewsX Jayaprakash, through your channel, the Congress functionary has accepted there have been lackadaisical approach to this memorial. Let us restrict our debate to this memorial today. I'm very, very happy. I'm sure when we meet here after 3-4 days, this entire garden will be spruced up. And I'm sure Mr. Siddaramaiah will inaugurate this National War Memorial dedicated to the people of Karnataka on 15th of August 2017. And that will be the time we will all sit here and make another gratitudinal program towards the present government or dispensation.
That is the motive behind this. This NewsX campaign and the debate we are having at the National Memorial. And we are going to continue the debate. Do join us after the short break.